Hey guys, my name is Samuel Tellez. I'm doing a presentation about citation with purpose, rhetoric, ethics, and academic conversations. So citations are a very important tool when it comes to writing. They are pretty much mandatory for most academic writing you're going to be doing past or in college, or later high school. But the key to mastering citations is to not view it as just a check mark, as just something you have to do, but to realize, understand why and how we do it, why you do citations, because it can vary a lot on the situation, as well as it serves in providing rhetorical goals, and the practice of it reinforces your academic, knowledge dialogue with your passage. Now we're going to go over the power of citations. In order to be able to utilize citations, you must understand why they are so important. So the way to do that is to not look at it as just using it as a form to avoid plagiarism, to give, credit, but it's got to be viewed as a rhetorical tool, something that you use for readers to kind of establish your credibility, communicate clearly your message, as well as, through professional and academic writing. So without it, I mean, using quotes without sources or anything like that would just become off as unprofessional and uncredible. Yeah, one thing is that's extremely important and that is kind of hammered on to you is that citations change within where you use them. You got to be able to view it as not just a single set of rules, to where you have to check these boxes for all these citations, since it does change on what you're presenting, who your audience is, as well as just making your writing more meaningful, more appropriate by providing the correct uh, citations. You gotta understand citations change, they evolve over time. TikTok and podcasts are new things. So learning how to cite them, but if you use them as credit for credit, as well as making sure that the expectations are met, between what you're presenting and who you're presenting to. A common misconception is to just use any form of citation and it'll all serve the same purpose, which is not true. They're actually extremely unique in the way they come in. They serve different priorities. You have APA, MLA, Chicago, many more. All of them change within the authorship, the date, footnote detail, all that stuff changes which one you're gonna choose. And it's important to get the one that you're supposed to use correctly because it builds trust with your reader, you know, gives them more like a reason to follow you and have you as a trusted source and for them to engage with you in the future. Citations also serve an extremely important part in ethical practice, giving credit where it's due. You can't just take someone else's work idea or thought, quote, and just kind of have to write it off as their own. It comes off as disrespectful. You become dishonest as a writer, and that stuff comes off to your audience. You'll be less trustworthy. They'll be less likely to kind of follow you in the future because of your malpractices. And through using proper citation and giving credit where it's due, you kind of invite your audience to kind of join you, along your path because they'll know you're a trusted source and follow your works for the future. Some final takeaways to this: as long as you kind of know the point that citations are, to verify, to trace, and build upon your research, to kind of use them as tools, instead of just another part of the essay to expand on your writing, come off as more credible, come off as more intellectual, and improve your connections with your audience as well to keep them updated with all works because they know that you'll be the right guy. Here are my citations in APA format, citing, but appreciate you guys watching the video. follow away. If you did, thank you, Professor. Uh, see you guys in the next one.